Hey guys, welcome to the pilot episode of Neptune Rain TV. Whilst the live music scene is currently non-existent, we thought we'd bring you a bit of behind-the-scenes banter and insight into the Neptune Rain world. This show is either going to take off or just crash and burn, but either way we're going to have fun and we hope that you can join in with that too. Each episode I'll be chatting to the rest of the Neptune Rain boys, getting their thoughts about band life and their own lives, plus we'll be joined by a special guest from another band to find out a bit more about other bands we think you should check out. This week we're delighted to be joined by our friend Tommy Harrison, drummer from emo grunge rockers Floorboards. Every time I'm going to put the special guest and the rest of the Neptune Rain boys through the intense experience of our high drama, high stakes game, Alphabetti Forgetti. It's going to be quirky, and at the very least I'm going to have fun, so I hope you guys do too. First up this week is our boy Simon, also known as T, one of our guitarists. Mate, how you doing? You alright?
Yeah, I'm good, man.
How's your day? Okay, so this is the first time we're doing this, so hopefully it will go without hiccups.
Yeah.
But it's going to be three kind of things that we do that I ask you about. There's 3 questions and then there's a game.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Hey.
Oh yeah, it's going to be cool, man. It's going to be so fun. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you to pick a letter, A, B or C, and then that's going to determine which question I ask you.
Okay. B.
B, okay. Right, I'm picking up B. I'm gonna show that camera. See, I got multi cameras going on. It's cool. Oh, can you see it? You're not supposed to see it. That's cheating.
I can't see anything.
Okay, that's
It's
good.
just like a piece of paper.
Okay. So the first question is, I want you to tell me about what the first gig you ever went to was.
Okay.
Okay.
I was just wondering about the holding it up to the camera. Like, was there something written on that I don't know?
No, the question. Trust issues, man. Is that right ways around?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so that like the millions of people watching us know that was a legitimate random pick of question.
The first gig I went to.
Yeah. Who was it? Who did you go with? What was it like?
It was Green Day
Awesome.
at Milton Keynes Bowl, the one that they released on the DVD, Bullet in a Bible. I went with my mum.
Awesome. Are they Green Day fans?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
They're Green Day fans. And I think a couple of friends as well. And we started the gig against the barrier. There's it's like an arena, so there's the front bit where you get really close to the stage, and then there's a barrier, and then the rest of the audience.
Okay.
So we were against that middle barrier.
Awesome.
Yeah. I had no
Did you
idea
get
how to
squashed?
get to the front section. I just reached this barrier and I was like, yeah, I guess we're staying here. I didn't know you could go around the side and get into the front area.
The second question is a band related question, and it's, which Neptune Rain song are you most looking forward to playing once live music is a thing again?
Yeah. Which song am I looking forward to most? Probably If That Was Love.
Okay.
I like the build up, and then when all the instruments come in, in the beginning section, pow! And also, I was thinking it would probably be the first song we play, but I guess we haven't really made any decisions on that. And when we're actually going to play, it's going to be ages away, so we'll probably change our minds a load of times. I mean, just because it's our first single doesn't mean it's going to be our first song. Although that would make sense.
Yeah. I was thinking about this earlier. It always felt like a good song to open with, but by the time gigs just are a thing, we might have other songs which work better. So yeah. But that's cool. Yeah, that would be fun to play. The last question is, I want you to recommend one thing that people should either watch or read or listen to that you really enjoy, and explain why they should check it out.
3 Cheers for Revenge by My Chemical Romance.
Okay.
It's dark punk emo. It's got loads of emotion and drama, storytelling and stuff. It's perfect for any like angsty teenagers that feel like they fit in. Mom, I don't fit in.
Is it still good for people who are definitely not teenagers anymore, but still kind of full of angsty teenager inside?
Sure. Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
I still listen to it.
Awesome. Okay, right. So Alphabetti Forgetti, the way it works is I'm going to give you a letter and a category, and you've got to think of an answer for that category beginning with that letter.
Okay.
You can pass and move on to the next one, but the next category is always going to have to start with the next letter in the alphabet, and it'll be a new category. So, for example, I might say, right, a shade of Dulux paint beginning with A, and then you're going to nail it because you know all of the paints, and then we move on to B, and it'll be like something beginning with B, and you got to say something beginning with B.
Yeah.
But whatever the category is. So I've got 26 different categories.
Okay.
You guys will do them in the same order each week.
The same letter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
But each week I'll randomize the list. So
yeah,
the same categories will be jumbled up. And then the idea is that I'll count up your scores each week. So that's the three of you guys in the band, and the guest from another band that we'll have on each week will compete against you, and then we'll do like a leaderboard and see who's winning and stuff, and it'll be cool. I'd say it'd be cool. I think everything's going to be cool, but it really might not be. Any questions?
No.
Awesome. Right. Oh, this is so exciting. A band.
A day to remember.
B, item of clothing.
Bandana.
C, restaurant.
Oh God. Why can't I think of a restaurant? Pass.
D, sport.
Darts?
E, politician.
Pass.
F, fictional character.
Fictional character. Freddy Flintstone.
G, musician or solo artist.
We already had that. Wait, say again. G,
musician or solo artist. Time's up. Dismiss.
I only got this G. Why is that?
Yeah, that's good fun. Okay, right. So next up, we're going to Rob, our bassist, aka Wilsey. I can't remember why he's actually called Wilsey, but the name is stuck. So welcome, mate. How you doing? How's your day been?
Right, how's it going?
Yeah, good, man. I'm excited. It's fun.
I'm buzzing. This is so weird, but so cool at the same time. I love it.
Yeah. Like, we can't do like live gigs, so we're going to do funny little TV shows. And when I say funny, I use that word loosely. Right, we're going to start off, man. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you to pick a letter. You've got the choice between A or C, because B's already been taken. So which letter would you like?
I'm going to go for A.
Okay.
First letter of the alphabet.
So A, boom, boom, boom. That's a good observation. It is the first letter in the alphabet, man. You know your letters.
I got something right.
Woohoo, that's 1 point. Yeah, 1 point to Wilsey. Question for the A category is, what was the first album you bought?
Oh, this is brilliant. Right, so this a little bit embarrassing actually, because this was going a long way back. But the first album I actually ever bought was S Club by S Club 7.
Yeah, boy, that's so sick.
I was one of those guys. But yeah, and actually, I must admit, because I kind of got into S Club a little bit late on the sort of the hype train when it was all going, because everyone at school loved them. It was either Steps or S Club back in the day.
Yeah.
And I was sort of forced into watching Miami 7. I don't know if anyone from my sort of generation remembers that. But
mate, big time. Rachel Davies.
Terrible stuff. But like back in the day, I loved it. And I really got into it and ended up buying the album. And yeah, the rest is history. That's my first sort of favourite pop group.
Okay, the next question is a band-related question. And it's which Neptune Rain song are you most looking forward to playing live, and why?
Ooh, this is tough. If I could just choose all of them, I would, if I'm honest, because they're all a lot of fun in their own way. But I'm gonna have to go for Nothing Left to Save, I think.
Okay.
Do I need to give a reason?
Yeah, tell us why.
Then. I think probably my favourite part of that song. I mean, the whole song's great. There's a lot of energy in it, which is just going to be so much fun to play. Can't wait for you all to hear it, to be honest. But there's one bit like in the bridge section where it sort of cuts out, and it is just me and the violins. There's probably a bit of ego there, but it's the way it builds. Like, it's a proper big epic building bridge, and it just kind of explodes, and I love it lyrically and musically. It's just great.
The third question is, I want you to recommend our audience one thing that they should either watch or read or listen to whilst the world the way it is.
I think I always like, kind of being a musician, I suppose, I always kind of keep an eye out for just albums that come out occasionally. And in the past, I was always one of those guys that I'd just be sort of like, oh, all new music is rubbish. You know, those old sort of fogies that are just like, right, no good music's coming out and all the rest of it. But it's not true. There's some really good music coming out at the moment. And I think my highlight recently, it's a little bit underground, but it's from a band called Oceans of Slumber. And they're weird because they kind of come out of like the sort of American tech death metal scene. But they're a little bit more melodic and a little bit more accessible. And it's a hard thing to describe, really, but they kind of incorporate all these different sort of sounds in their music. They have sort of like pianos and all the rest of it. And they kind of, this latest album, it's called The Banished Heart, that they released recently. It's really interesting. I think it's their second album with their current singer. She's a black singer from Texas, which in itself is quite unusual for a band generally. And it's just such a sort of soulful sound that their music has, and I really recommend everyone check it out, because even if like you're not that big into metal, it's such an interesting sounding album that I think everyone can get something out of it.
Was it Oceans of Slumber?
Oceans of Slumber is the band, and the album's
awesome.
called The Banished Heart, and that's the title track as well, which definitely check that one out.
Okay, awesome. You've literally just covered your musical journey from like S Club to tech death metal, like in the space of like a 3-minute conversation.
That's great, isn't it? It just shows, you know, like there's so much good music out there, and like I always think, just even if you kind of find yourself sort of leaning to one particular genre, like don't tie yourself down to that, because there's so much good music, like of all styles out there. So yeah, definitely.
Awesome, man. Thank you for that. Okay, mate, we've come to the exciting bit of the show where we are getting to play the game, the quiz, where you compete against the other members of the band and our guest member from another band every week. It's going to be exciting.
Hey.
It's called Alphabetti Forgetti. It's beautiful, quite poetic. Here we go. A, band.
Anthrax.
B, item of clothing.
Bikini.
C, restaurant.
Cafe Nero.
D, sport.
Dodgeball.
E, politician.
That's be dead. No.
F, fictional character.
Fargo. Is that a fictional character? Maybe.
I'll take it. G, musician or solo artist.
Gajira.
H, household object.
Oh.
I, book.
Inception.
J, TV show.
Judge Judy.
Oh, time's up. That's amazing. Dismiss that bad boy.
That was hard. That's like a lot of those questions I feel like would be easy if I gave it more thought, but
yeah, you're under pressure and
difficult.
And I'm really intimidating as a person.
You are terrifying. I'm not gonna lie.
Awesome, mate. I'm going to count up your score in my own time, and then I'll get back to you later in the week, let you know how you guys get on. Thank you so much for joining us, man.
No worries.
I'll catch up with you every day
It's been
anyway.
a pleasure, my dude. Enjoyed it. That's good.
No worries, mate. Thanks a lot. Take it easy.
Bye.
Right, guys, we're joined by Ross, one of our guitarists. How you doing, mate? You all right?
One of the Yeah, I'm not that arrogant.
T's going to be having words with you, mate, but from 2 meters away at least.
T,
So I
wherever
think you'd
you
be
are,
right.
if you're watching this, I love you.
Okay, right. So your A, B, or C question, man, is question C, and it is, what was the first gig that you ever played? Tell us about it. What was the band? How did it go? Would you pay to watch yourself live?
Would I pay to watch myself live? How long is this interview allowed to be? No, the first gig I ever played was at the Two Pigs in Cheltenham, and I'll never forget it because it was packed, man. Back, Cheltenham used to have such a vibrant like live music scene, and all the fans like stormed the stage, and stuff got broken. It was just insane.
That's awesome. Who was the band you were playing in?
The band at the time was Man Overboard, and Rob was there as well.
Ah,
Big shout out
cool.
to Rob for putting up with me for as long as he has.
Oh, wicked. What type of music was it?
Largely, for me growing up, like Blink-182 was like, that's what got me into music. It was very sort of, pick 3 chords, play them as fast as you can, and just break stuff. I couldn't be, kids out there picking up music, don't break things. That's not what it's about.
So the second question is, which Neptune Rain song are you most looking forward to playing live, and why?
Which one? How many songs have we done again? If I had to pick one, I would say, I'm so proud of all of them, man. It's so nice to be part of something where you genuinely are so invested and have so many personal links to so many songs. It's been awesome in that respect. But for me, I think If That Was Love is kind of the first one. It's the first song that we wrote together as a band. It's one of the first ones that we practiced together as a band, and it's one of the first ones that we'll be bringing out as a band. So all of them, but If That Was Love, more than most.
Okay, right. The third question, man, is I want you to recommend something that people should watch or read or listen to. So it could be like a film or an album or a song or a TV show or a book.
I think I'm paid to say this one. I think for me, like I said previously, Blink-182 was what got me into music in the first place, and so anything by them, I would say. They were our generation's Beatles, in the 90s growing up. They I don't know, they kind of changed my childhood, and getting to see them play live, which is something I never thought I'd get the chance to. I did get the chance to, and it kind of just sort of signed off on my whole childhood. It was kind of like a coming of age. That sounds really professional.
Yeah, I was yeah.
This is
good.
Going well, I think.
So, mate, I've prepped you on the rules. It's Alphabetti Forgetti. You got to give me the answer for the category with the right letter. You can pass if you want, and we'll move on. And you got to try and get as far as you can in 60 seconds. Are you ready for this?
I could beat T, man. That's the goal.
A, band.
Adam and the Ants.
B, item of clothing.
Brooch.
C, restaurant.
College years.
D, sport.
Dodgeball.
E, politician.
Oh shit. Oh, language. Sorry.
You can pass. F, fictional character.
Stitch.
F.
Fred Flintstone.
G, musician or solo artist.
Gary Moore.
H, household object.
Hairbrush.
I, book.
Pass.
Oh, time's up. Okay, mate, I'm going to work out your score in my own time, and then I'll get you guys all back on later in the week, and we're going to work out who's won. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been nice to hear your insight on life in the band and your musical history, and we'll catch up soon, man. I'll speak every day anyway.
I love talking to you, mate. I miss you.
You too, buddy. Be nice to see you one day again in person.
I know, all right?
Take it easy, dude. Thanks, mate.
Take care, bro.
Bye. Okay, guys, so every week we're going to get a guest member on from another band and get to find out a little bit more about their band. And they're also going to join in with our game, Alphabetti Forgetti. And this week, really excited to have Tom, the drummer from Floorboards, with us. How are you doing, mate?
Good, thanks, mate. Yeah, all good.
How's your week been?
It's been all right. Yeah, just been working from home, and then obviously I'm worried about travelling to work and from work and stuff with all the traffic and stuff. So it's been pretty good. Thank
Awesome. To start off with, man, I'm going to ask you to tell us a little bit about Floorboards, what you guys, your style, what you guys are like, and what you got going on.
Okay. Well, we kind of fit into the emo grunge category. So if you like sort of Blink 182, Basement, Nirvana, Title Fight, that sort of stuff, then you'll probably like us. In terms of like future plans and stuff, we've got studio dates booked now later in June. So it's going to be like a social distancing studio session now, which is going to be a bit weird. So we're only allowed 2 people in at a time, so it'll be me and one of the other guys. But yeah, that's going to be strange because not all of us are going to be in the same room and stuff, and yeah, it's just going to be weird.
Yeah, it sounds like it. What are you going to record? Is it like singles or EP or album?
It's an EP, but yeah, I'm not going to say how many tracks because we want to keep a little bit of a mysterious thing going in there.
Oh, awesome.
But it's more tracks than we usually do, so.
Okay, awesome. Looking forward to it. Right, the second thing we're going to do, man, is the quick fire round, and I'm going to fire a whole bunch of questions at you, just get to find out a little bit more about yourself and what your life is like and your influences and that sort of stuff.
Cool.
Are you ready?
All right. Yeah, fire away.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so first up, what track of Floorboards do you think people should check out first?
I'd say Low. It would be the one that most people seem to catch on with pretty quickly. It's kind of got our sound in it, I'd say, is the right sort of explanation for it. And I just think it's just quite an interesting song. I love playing drums to it as well, so I might be a bit biased. But
The drums are sick on that track.
Yeah, thanks, man. But no, I think that's probably the all-round Floorboards song at the moment that people like to hear, or seem to like to hear. Anyway.
Yeah. What's the first thing you're going to do after lockdown ends?
Probably have a drink with my friends and family.
What's the best gig you've ever been to?
Best gig I've ever been to would probably be... It's probably actually the first gig I ever went to, which was... I'd say, it would be Slipknot, Machine Head, Children of Bodom. And that was in 2009, I think, 2008, 2009. So it was just after Slipknot brought out All Hope Is Gone, that album. So yeah, I think that's probably my best gig. It's like my most memorable one, I'd say.
Yeah, it's a pretty epic gig to go to first as well.
Yeah. The bass guitar was like thundering in my ribcage.
Still shaking for weeks after.
Yeah.
Who is the most useful band member from Floorboards in an emergency, and why?
Probably say in my band it would be Jamie, because there was one incident where we had our van breaking down on us in the middle of a tour. There was just no way to get there in time for that gig, so Jamie contacted them and he managed to get us to play the gig the next day instead. So that was actually pretty good. I think that was a bit of an emergency for us, but it's not really... I suppose it's not that much of an emergency, but when you've got a broken down van, it feels like it, you know? Because you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's a really good outcome actually as well, is being able to get on the next day. That's quality. Yeah, awesome. Well done, Jamie, for sorting that out. Good lad. What songs do you wish that you'd written?
Bit of a strange one for a rock drummer, I suppose, but probably a Hans Zimmer song called Now We Are Free, and it's in the Gladiator soundtrack. But I just think that's such a good song. It's obviously not rock and stuff, it's not in this sort of genre that we're into, but No, I think that's a truly like special song. I'd love to have written that one. Yeah, definitely.
Hands is like amazing. I listen to like the Inception soundtrack like all the time because the music on that is just like so epic and
one
beautiful.
of the masters.
Okay, what sort of things have you been watching recently on TV?
I don't tend to watch much TV, to be honest. I don't have a TV license, but yeah, I do have Netflix and Amazon Prime. So my girlfriend has got me into Attack on Titan, which is an anime series. Quite a gory anime series as well, actually. I didn't expect that, but I thought it was like a children's anime, and then it turned out to be really gory with blood everywhere and stuff. So no, I thought that's quite a good one, actually.
Okay, awesome. And what music have you been listening to recently?
I've been listening to a lot of Nine Inch Nails recently, actually, which is I've never really been into them before, but I've got into them quite a lot recently.
What was the last gig you went to? So not one that Floorboards played, but the last gig you went to watch.
Last gig. I think it was Beartooth in Bristol. I can't remember which Bristol venue it was. I think it's like usually a nightclub or something. It doesn't usually do gigs. But yeah, I saw them in Bristol. So yeah, Beartooth.
Cool. Which artist would you most like to collaborate with?
I really like a lot of soundtracky type stuff, and I've just mentioned Nine Inch Nails, but I'd probably want to collaborate with Trent Reznor, to be honest, because he's such a genius songwriter, and he comes up with some really amazing work, and it's quite a lot of it's quite unpredictable, and I like unpredictable stuff, so I don't like boring, samey stuff. So yeah, probably him, to be honest.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. And what will success in music look like for you?
Just enjoying myself, continuing to enjoy myself playing music, and always challenging myself as well, because I think it's easy to get stuck in a rut when you're in music and if something's worked for you before, and you've got quite a lot of people liking, say, one song of yours, it's easy to try and copy it in a way, or try to figure out why people like that song. But I think it's best to just be passionate about what you're doing and just go with what you like in terms of a songwriting type thing. If you're doing any songwriting, I think just sort of play what you enjoy, really, and that's about it.
And what are your post-coronavirus hopes for the world that we live in?
I'd say, well, I just hope that the gigs can get back to normal, really. I mean, obviously, people's lives matter more than playing gigs, but it'd be nice for us to be able to play again soon. But if we don't, then that's just how it is,
Yeah, the live music world returning. When it's safe to do that.
That's probably the music industry is probably the worst affected industry, really, in a sense. Well, definitely one of the most badly affected industries from this. So yeah, hopefully it can bounce back.
The final thing I'm going to do with you is our game, Alphabetti Forgetti. I've prepped you on the rules. You feel happy with how we play it?
Sure, yeah, go for it. See what happens.
We'll see what happens. There's bars been set by other members in our band, so you're competing against them. So I know Rob and Ross personally as well. So there's obviously like some personal pride at stake as well here. So it's like really serious stuff, man. Okay, so I'll start the clock. We've got a minute, and I'll start it once I've given you the letter and the category.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. A band.
Angels and Airwaves.
B item of clothing.
Baseball cap, does that count?
C restaurant.
Chiquitos.
D. Sport.
Driving.
E. Politician.
I can't think of politicians really.
You can pass if you want.
Yeah, pass.
F. Fictional character.
Frogger.
G. Musician or solo artist. Time's up.
Hello.
Let's restart that one. Awesome.
How's that? yeah, got my brain working.
Yeah.
Not used to that on a weekend, you know. So.
I know, man. Middle of a Saturday afternoon. It's a bit intense.
Yeah.
Mate, I'm going to work out your score, and I'll let you know if you've won or where you've come in the order, the competition this week. Thank you so much for taking part, man. I really appreciate it. Really good luck with the EP recording as well, man. I look forward to hearing that when it's done.
Oh, cheers, man. Thanks.
No worries. Thanks a lot, mate. Take it easy.
Yeah, mate. Bye.
Bye. Right, guys, I got you all together to announce the results of this week's Alphabetti Forgetti. Are you excited to find out who won?
Terrified.
As long as it wasn't Rob.
No chance of that, mate.
So I'm gonna tell you the scores that there were, and then I'll tell you the name of the people from fourth up to this week's winner.
Okay, and we can all have a good laugh
Okay.
at those answers.
Yeah.
So the scores, there was a 4, a 5, a 6, and a 7.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I've changed my mind about driving.
Yeah.
It's not mine, so.
So in fourth place with 4, that was T. We set a bar early doors. Set a bar early doors. We didn't know if it was a good bar or a bad bar. In second place,
It was Moss Isley Bar. Cantina.
yeah. In second place was Tommy with 5.
Oh, I beat Tommy.
The driving
Me and Rob.
option.
It's me and Rob.
The driving option was his. So he either had 4 or 5, and you guys said that driving was okay for sport. So it left him with 5.
Oh, I'm sorry, T. I feel like I betrayed my bandmate.
Yeah.
He sold him out badly.
Oh.
Wait. So it comes down to Rob and Ross
Oh my god.
May the best man win, Rob.
with 6 points in second place.
It's me.
It was Rob. So this week's winner is Ross with 7
Ross.
points.
Well done, Russ. Well done.
Take that, YouTube.
Amazing. So boys, we'll play again next time, and the categories will all be jumbled up in a different order. So we'll still go through letter by letter.
I'm retiring.
You're retiring now.
Yeah, you end on a high.
That's it. That's it. Conquered this one as well. Move on to the
I'm
next one.
gonna go do my coaching badges and go to a career that,
Gotcha.
Dude.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us for the very first episode of Neptune Rain TV. We'll see you again in a fortnight for episode 2 for more shenanigans and giggles. But stay tuned for every Sunday at 3 PM UK time, because we'll still be releasing our weekly lockdown content. There's loads of crazy stuff going on in the world right now, so please, we hope you guys all stay safe, stay kind, and we'll see you soon. Thanks again. Peace out.